So I want you to remember back to when we looked at the upper head or the proximal head of the fibula. And we talked about how the tibia, the shin bone, is like a champagne flute. So it's coming up, this is the shin, and then it spreads out, and that's the knee joint, right? So that's right there. And the fibula connects right under the strict knee joint, and it's under this curving ledge. So if I were thinking about my right leg, I could draw this tibia in my mind, and then it's going to spread, and the fibula is going to come up the side, and it's going to connect right under that spread. And it's going to be a little bit to the back. So if you had a clock, and that was the tibial plateau, and you were looking at it, and 12 o'clock was the front of the bone, the front of the knee, where the kneecap is, then the fibula is about at 4 o'clock, 4:30 maybe. Right, so it's a little past 3, but it's not swinging to the back, so it's a little bit out to the side and behind. And so if you can imagine that, kind of draw the tibial plateau in your mind, and then find your 4 o'clock, and you imagine the walls coming up and out, and then there's this ledge, right, at about 4 o'clock, and this is the head of the fibula, my right fibula, right? So it's at an angle, and this is really important. So let's do it on the left leg first. So let's draw the tibial plateau. So I have my left tibia. That's the tibial plateau, and it's angling down. That's the shin, and then the knee is coming up like the champagne flute. And then at about 4 o'clock, I guess on this side it wouldn't actually be 4 o'clock. It'd be more like, what was that, 8 o'clock, right? 7:30, 8 o'clock. And so that angle back here on the left leg now is angling back to that wall a little bit and out and up. So this would be my tibia, and this would be my fibula, right? So you can already kind of see from here what's going to happen when the fibula drives upwards, right? Because it's angled back that way, the joint, it's going to go back a little bit. And remember, the bottom is going forward, so the top is going back. And then it's going to go up and kind of get driven outwards a little by that slanted wall. So what happens is we have a fairly complex spiraling motion. So what this means is that whereas the bottom is swinging forward and up, the top is also going up but swinging to the back. So the bottom's going forward, the top is going back, and they're both rising up. So now you have this spiral that's going forward, forward on the bottom, back on the top, and up. And to me, it feels like there's a little bit of an outward rotation. I've heard different people teach different things about that, and I've never actually looked up the biomechanical studies for the movement of the fibula. Perhaps I'll do that one day and give you what the scientists say. But the fact is, feeling it is, for me, more important than what an NIH study says. So see if you can picture this fairly complicated image. You have the ledge of the talus, that little side ledge that the bottom of the fibula rides, and that's rising up a little bit. That's the whole reason this updrive thing is happening. So the bottom is riding, and it's going forward and riding that ledge up. It's driving the bone up, and the bone, this long thin bone, is hitting, I shouldn't say hitting, it's a joint, it's made to do this, but it's contacting the tibia at this angle, and it's being driven back up and that way a bit, just a little. So then it looks something like this. That when I bend my leg, it's going to go forward on bottom, back on top, and have a little bit of a spiral. I even think perhaps the bone itself does some spiraling, and when you hold a real fibula, it's quite thin, and there's definitely the ability for it to flex, much more than, say, some of the other bones. I mean, all the bones are meant to flex, but the fibula, because it's so long and thin, really has this potential a lot. So you can imagine now that as I bend my right leg, the bottom goes forward and up, and the top goes back and up. And then it drops forward and down on top, and down and back on bottom. So we're going forward and up, boom, it's a spiral. It's going boom, shoom. So I kind of think about it like that, right? So I'm taking my thumb, with my thumb out, my palm facing my body, and I'm spiraling the thumb towards center as I go up. That is really like the updrive of the fibula. And then it's going to reverse as I drop down. So it's like I'm taking like a flame or fire, or like I'm a flower growing out and up this way. So try that with the thumb out to the side, palm facing your body. This is the bottom of your fibula. As you start to bend your leg, rotate to palm facing in front of you. So boom, up drive, down drive, up drive, down drive, up, down. And see if you can find that balanced place on the foot. Start by balancing the tibia on the talus, relaxing the foot, and up drive. You can touch the head of the fibula and see if you can feel this. Just bend your leg. I can really feel it. I can feel a little bit of motion to the back if I grip the head of the fibula. But if I take my fingertips and I let my fingertips touch the very tip of the fibula, then I can really feel the updrive and the spiral backwards as I bend the leg. So try that on the other side. So think about it, your thumb facing out, palm to the body, and as I bend, it's going to updrive, down. So this is swinging forward and up, and back and up at the top. Forward and down, and back and down. Forward and up, and back and up. Forward and down, and back and down. Boom. Up drive, down drive. Up drive, down drive. So, boom. I can feel that they're not even because I didn't do this one long enough. So I'll stick with the left. Boom. And really picture that ledge of the talus. So the fibula is swinging forward on that ledge, rising up the ledge. It's driving the entire length of the bone upwards. Follow the trail of the bone up, and it's hitting the top of the tibia, and it's going back a little bit and up as I bend. Right, so it's going. Whoa. You can go back to thinking of the tibia sliding on the talus, and then add in that up-driving rotation of the fibula. If you enjoyed this video, sign up for the InBody Space newsletter and share the link with a friend. You can also find original content on Facebook and Instagram.